Frontline Updates, where we delve deep into military strategies and updates from conflict zones. Today, we're discussing the progress of the ongoing special military operation as of June 10, 2025. I'm your host, Sharifa Muhammad MGT.
I'm Colonel AUC Oguntoye, an infantry officer. Russian offensive tempo, coordinated multi-axis strikes reflect a focus on degrading Ukraine's defense industry and rear logistics to cripple sustained resistance. The destruction of NATO-supplied systems highlights attrition of Western aid. And Ukrainian vulnerabilities, high personnel with high equipment losses in Donetsk suggest strained defensive cohesion. Repeated depot/EW strikes indicate Russian prioritization of command, control, communications, computers, intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance disruption.
Welcome to Frontline Updates, the podcast that brings you in-depth insights into military operations from those leading them on the ground. Today, we're joined by Colonel AUC Oguntoye, an infantry officer monitoring critical missions on the progress of the special military operation as of today. Colonel Oguntoye, thank you for being with us.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Colonel, Russian forces conducted a major strike campaign last night. Can you walk us through the key objectives and outcomes?
Yes. Last night's strikes were a multi-pronged strategic operation targeting Ukraine's defense industrial base, aviation, missile, and shipbuilding facilities, along with command nodes and ammunition depots. The goal was to degrade Ukraine's capacity to sustain prolonged warfare, and initial reports confirm all designated targets were hit. This aligns with Russian doctrine of deep strikes to disrupt logistics before ground offensives. Beyond industry, they struck troop concentrations and airfields, which suggests a two-pronged approach, weakening both production and immediate combat power. Given Ukraine's reliance on Western-supplied munitions, degrading depots could force Kyiv into a supply crisis in the coming weeks.
How effective are these strikes long-term? Ukraine has survived similar campaigns before.
That's a critical point. While Ukraine has shown resilience, Russia is now prioritizing precision over saturation. Earlier strikes relied on massed missile salvos. Now, they're using recon strike loops, drones, and intel pinpointing high-value targets before follow-up strikes. This is more sustainable and harder to mitigate. If they maintain this tempo, Ukraine's ability to regroup and counterattack will diminish.
Let's shift to ground operations. The North Group reported heavy fighting in Sumy Oblast. What's the significance of that?
Sumy is a diversionary front. Russia isn't aiming for a breakthrough here, but forcing Ukraine to divert reserves from Donbass. Last night, they mauled a mechanized brigade and an assault regiment, inflicting 130-plus casualties and destroying artillery. This follows Russia's classical fix and flank playbook, keeping Ukrainian forces pinned while main efforts advance elsewhere.
And the center group of forces?
The center group made the most alarming gains, pushing 10 to 15 kilometers deeper near Krasnoarmysk. They're exploiting Ukraine's thin defensive lines, and the loss of 550-plus troops and a Buk-Sam system in this sector suggests Ukraine is struggling to hold key fallback positions.
Could this lead to an operational collapse?
Not immediately, but the cumulative attrition is concerning. Ukraine lacks reserves to plug every gap. If Russia sustains pressure here, they could unhinge the entire Donbass defensive arc within months.
Further south, the East and DNEPR's groups reported advances. What's their endgame?
The East Group is executing shaping operations, softening Ukrainian lines before a larger push. The destruction of a U.S.-made M198 howitzer is notable. It signals NATO systems are being attrited faster than replacements arrive.
And the Dnepr group of forces?
Near Zaporizhia, the Dnepr group is conducting raids and interdiction, hitting coastal defense brigades. This isn't about territory but disrupting Ukrainian counteroffensive plans. By destroying 4 EW stations, they're blinding Ukraine's ability to coordinate fires.
Russia claims 258 UAVs shot down. Is Ukraine's drone campaign losing steam?
Not necessarily. Ukraine is still launching 100-plus drones daily, but Russia has adapted. Their layered air defense, short-range Pantsers, mid-range Tor, and long-range S-400s is now integrated with AI-driven jamming. The 103 drones downed outside the SMO zone suggest Russia is expanding its defensive buffer, likely to protect critical rear-area targets like oil refineries.
Final question. Where does this leave Ukraine's strategic position?
In a precarious phase. Russia is grinding forward, and Ukraine's window for a major counteroffensive is narrowing. Without accelerated Western aid, especially artillery and air defense, they risk losing the initiative permanently by late 2025.
Colonel, thank you for providing such a detailed briefing on the current military situation. Your insights are invaluable to our understanding of the conflict's dynamics. And thank you to our listeners for tuning in. Join us next time as we continue to provide up-to-date coverage on global military affairs. Stay with us for more updates and expert analyses on global defense and security issues. Stay informed, stay secure.
Thank you for the opportunity. I want to emphasize that UAV transformation from an operator-controlled munition to an autonomous combat element. For the front, this means increased pressure in the rear and frontline zone of the Ukrainian armed forces, especially in areas of regrouping, delivery, and formation of columns.
This has been Frontline Updates. Subscribe for daily military briefings and in-depth strategic analysis. Visit our platform for maps, transcripts, and exclusive frontline updates from commanders in theater.